We have one more question.
I'm all out of questions. I got a few answers. Hopefully people wouldn't have listened though, because you could hear, but you don't always listen. I was a child. Anybody else is one, you would know that statement is a fact. So my name is Amlak I, but bigger than that, I'm a human who forgot he was a human. And I started doing barbaric things in the streets, and I went to prison. Because I forgot I was a human, not for crime, because I forgot I was a human. I need to reiterate that. Because I forgot, Jonah, come on, man, I let you wear my hat. I forgot I was a human at 17. And so I want to keep it really compact. What I want to say to you guys is that I don't think anyone's been to prison in this room. If you have, put your hand up if you're not ashamed. You got a DC number like me. Come on, talk about it. It builds character too. It's like the military. If you do it right, people will say thank you for your service when you come home, for not letting that place tear you down more. And when you came home, we could have been subjected to worse than when you went in. So that's a thank you for your service. So I am an individual who did 19 years because I forgot I was a human. I went into the penitentiary, and while I was in the penitentiary, I remember that not only I was a human, I'm a scholar too. Maybe it would have been a road science call.
15 more seconds, sir.
Yes, sir. And in the path of me being incarcerated, I went back to college. And you know where I was at? A GO facility. You know what they did for me? I'm telling you, I ain't got nothing to be capping about like the young people say you capping. I ain't got nothing to cap about. I got a whole family, my beautiful wife, a whole house, a whole children right here, my son, my little girl. Life is beautiful. So I'm here to show you beauty. So while I was in incarcerated state, the GO facility opened up a computer lab in 2014 for me in the penitentiary. Because you know why? Because my grades was failing, because I was in a dormitory, and someone mentioned about rape and violence that happened in the ICE facility. I was in a dormitory that is incarceration where things like that happen. I mean, it's just an environment. But one thing I know about GO give you an opportunity. Everybody who's been to prison want to go to GO. It's the pundits. It's the talking heads. You are beautiful, brilliant people. Just stay where you're supposed to be shining at, as the scholars, and lead the next scholars. But when it comes to field work, you don't know. In GO facilities, they have AC. Think about the hot dormitories with rebar and concrete of a penitentiary in South Florida. It's kind of similar to Arizona. Think about that. And then think about the travesty of psychological downtrodden state of men who are all compressed, decompressed, and depressed, and overtrodden, and downtrodden, and everybody's mad. What is that? That's dangerous. But what did GO do? GO put AC. GO give you a brand new mattress this big. In the penitentiary, that's posturpedic style. Big mattress like this, I'm not lying to you. I got a picture. Anybody want it, I'll send it to you. I wasn't supposed to take it while I was in there, but I took it. The mat was this big with lumps in it everywhere. In GO prison, when I got there, the mat's this. That's social construction for social rehabilitation before you even get in the program. Let's talk about it. 8% of the proceeds for correctional influx of revenue go to private facilities. So let's talk about that. 8%, that leaves 92. Who's a math major? You don't need to be. That leaves 92%, and no one's talking about the state or federal. Well, guess what? I can talk about it. I got a PhD in it. And if any, I'm not going to do this to everything, but what I'm a scholar in, I'm going to do this to. I am an expert in it. I stand down against no one in the room with that. I'm not an expert in what you are, man. Or you are definitely not you, Adam. You know, you're one of my role models. Right here, man. I'm not an expert in none of the stuff you guys are in. Most likely. But in this field, I'm that beautiful car that you see parked in valet. For real. And the GO group believed in me. Watch this. I went and got a job there. Once I got out of prison, you know why? Because I put myself in the rooms, because I went to programs and GO facilities like a college dormitory, and I learned administrative style, executive style, how to cooperate with corporate entities, because that's a corporate entity inside of a microcosm. The administrative school side, I was an orderly there at GO. I worked for the warden. Why? Because I bought into the system of programming, and then programming refined me, and then I was in opportunity situations like Pablo says, when you got to find yourself in the room, make sure you stay there. I found myself in the room, and I stayed there. They loved me because they loved what I could produce as a person because of what they sold into me on. Let's keep that in memory. They love me and what I can produce as a person, which is balance, love, peace, and progressiveness. As far as evolution, making things better than what they are. That's progressiveness to me. That's what I love. if it's good, like Adam said, if the diversity's here, good. And so let's talk about diversity. I get a job. What do? I put myself in the room. I Googled prison reform conferences, and I paid the ticket regardless of what. I went and sold items in barbershops. I was a hand-to-hand retail guy, selling detox teas because I'm a personal trainer. I don't look pretty good, y'all. My wife says so. You ain't gotta say it. But I gained the income by being a shark. But why? Because people sold into me and said, "You're a shark. Look at the grades you got." And I said, "Hey, yeah, I'm not a criminal no more. Even though I got on blues, I'm a man." And then I came home and I went in certain rooms and I found my talent finder, what that person was. And they found me and they said, "Something about you, man." And I said, "No, it's something about you. I know who you are. I was in your facility." "Oh, you was in our facility?" "Hey, man, we're looking to innovate at GEO." "What do you mean? I like the word innovation." "What's up?" "We're looking to integrate returning citizens." And so when I went into the facility, I was the GEO headquarters case manager of the year over and over because I broke all the records. When I went in, guess what? You had to have a master's degree. I told you earlier I had a PhD in criminology. That's all I had. But I was an autodidact. I self-studied while I was incarcerated. And I got some college credits, but I couldn't keep doing it because Pell Grant stopped. I can't keep paying that kind of money. And when I came home, I got the opportunity. I went in as a case manager with no degree. Now, 8% of the call center was returning citizens. You talk about diversity. When I left, because 5-year program, they said if you want to create a back and bed, go work for one. Learn the ins and outs, and then go create yours. So I created mine. I left. But I didn't leave without saying I love y'all. Y'all are the total SHBBB on the way out. That's what I said, pretty much. Because when I left, the call center was 88% returning citizens. The policy changed to that you no longer have to have a degree. Better yet, you need lived experience. The director still calls me to this day and says, "Hey man, I'm in a road stop, I'm hiring. And you know anybody?" Of course I do. How do you think you got all the rest of the good guys? Because everybody don't come out great. But if you attach that person who comes out great to somebody who's already out here being great, you have less crime. You have a genius being a genius again for the right cause. Who can be business-minded and entrepreneur-minded more than a kingpin in the streets? He runs quality control, he runs marketing, he runs payroll, he runs every aspect of Fortune 500 business, and he can't afford to have a spreadsheet. You got that? He can't afford to write nothing down. So he does it from his head. And so what's the hold up with merging someone who doesn't have education background? So what? I don't have a corporate background. I got in there and I crushed it. That's what I did, because what? People believe in me. So this man here, I'm going to tell you straight up, like we said in the streets, from a G to a G, which now means a great man. Right? Back then it meant something else. From a G or a great person, a great person. From a G to a G, this is who you want running your facility, and that's more than a rhyme. That's something that you need to really invest in time into and really calculate and calibrate your thought on who do you want here. You want someone here who's going to diversify even further with, hey, who got a brother, cousin, uncle in prison? Did time? Anybody? Come on, let's keep it real. Nobody here? Okay, there your hands up. You don't want somebody on the campus who's going to open the doors for people like me to do business here and have men coming through here and refining them and showing them the qualitative components in themselves and empowering them through programs that GEO already doing, leading the nation, leading the world in reentry. And then quality components that come through the program like me. Come on, man. It's common sense. The man knows how to run a machine. The man knows how to interact with people who are cogs in the machine that are the most important part of the machine. And that's all I got to say, man. I love y'all. Adam, I didn't even look at you on that. You know why? Because this ain't even about you, brother. This was so organic. I was just talking to Chris because we run now together all the time. I'm training for New York Marathon because nothing that I cannot do, and I'm going to prove the brothers and sisters behind me that if you get time, you don't matter what's in front of you, can get it. And then we were just talking, and he was like, yeah, you know, Adam's going to be looking to be interviewed for presidency and this and that. And I'm like, interview for presidency? What you mean? I thought Trump was a president. What's you talking about, bro? You know, I'm not all in it like, you know, Larry Flynn. I'm not all in, but I know who's in presidency. And he's like, no, for FAU. I'm like, get out of here, bro. FAU is the first place that gave me a lecture. I was lectured at 5 universities. I've done it here 4 times. You know what I mean? FAU gave me an opportunity in so many things when I first came home. Dr. Cassandra Atkins, bro. I was so raw. If you see the picture, you remember Cam Newton dreadlocks? I didn't have these sets. I had the sets that looked like palm trees. And she believed in me, man. She asked me how many hours you want. I was like, man, I just came home from prison. I can talk. Let me get 2 hours. She's like, you can? Yeah. And it was great. And it was great because the people said it was great. So FAU has been believing in returning citizens. That's the most hard, probably the most farthest stretch besides sex offenders. The furthest stretch is a criminal and then a sex offender. Because I come from the population of criminals, so I understand what the furthest stretch is. Don't nobody take no kind of way. That is the furthest stretch. And for Adam to embrace me, send me to Arizona, I'm just gonna tell you, he stepped down on the vice president of our division because he had a little more muscle, and he told him, no, I know I'm locked. But no one's better to speak to this than him. And it's not me though, it's the gift. So he saw it, and he allowed my gift to radiate for not Adam, for not Gio, because he would have got the contract anyway, let's keep it real. He wanted to give people the opportunity, because they're great. That's why I said let's keep it real, because they're great. He wanted to give me an opportunity to prove my worth that I could be in the room, because he's part of a team with a guy named Pablo Baez, who I know personally. I asked Pablo advice. I said, I used to work for the Ward and Gio, and I asked him this main thing. I'm going to be somebody one day. Please tell me your biggest mistake, because you somebody, man. And I asked Pablo that one day. And Pablo, and the Warden says, hey, man, no one ever asked me that. I said, well, I'm somebody. And I asked Pablo that, and Pablo says, just find a way in the room. And I said, that's funny, that's how my whole career in reentry started. And so you got Pablo, who is on the board. You got Adam, who resonates the same qualitative image mirror thought patterns and actions in policy. So I appreciate you guys' time, effort of listening to me, because I can talk a little bit more.